You don't have any appointments today.
Well, see who it is. I may not be in. Coming to bother me and trying to not get anything done.
Silas, honey, there's a delegation here to see you.
Now, Daisy, Miss Cockett, now that you are my official secretary, you must address me as Your Honor or Mr. Mayor when I am on duty.
I'm sorry, sugar. Your Honor. Shall I let the delegation come in or tell them that you are busy?
Did they say what they wanted?
Well, between their bulging eyes and stuttering when they would look at me, all they would say is that it concerned all of Big Gulch County and it was an emergency. Should I get the sheriff?
Yes. Please go do that, Miss Cockett, and let them in.
You gentlemen may go in. The mayor is waiting for you, if you will excuse me.
Indeed, miss. You may want to throw on a warm coat. You already look cold and it is nipply. Nippy out there.
Gentlemen, I am Mayor Silas D. Sumbish. What brings you here? I'm a Brother Costello, head of Habitat Rhodes Abbey. This is Alan Parson, the pastor from Honor Sacred Mission. Father Tyne from Our Lady of Perpetual Motion Mission. And this is Obadiah Prime, pastor at On Your Knees Church. We are members of the Southwestern Ecumenical Council Services, or the SECS for short. Despite our different faiths, we come together to address any issues that concern all of God's children. Abbot Costello, St. Allen, Father Time, Pastor Prime. So you are all the Southwestern Ecumenical Council Services members. Whoa, now that's a mouthful.
Just call us the SECS or the SEX for short.
Well, gentlemen, what is on your...
Silas, Your Honor. I am sorry to interrupt, but the sheriff is here.
Hello, Mayor! Daisy said I was needed here. What's going on? Sheriff Dannon, these gentlemen are from the Southwestern Ecumenical Council.
Oh, the SECS folks, or SEX for short. Can't say I've had the pleasure, gentlemen.
So what can I do for sex, gentlemen?
Oh, just say the word, sugar.
Miss Cockett, that will be all. I do believe you have some of my briefs to attend to.
Well, I used to. Excuse me, gentlemen, and please stop staring, darlings. Didn't y'all take a vow of celibacy or something?
Nope, just them.
Indeed. I don't recall sex in town before. What's the matter?
Your Honor, Sheriff, we are concerned for our dwindling flock.
Sheep? Are there wolves or coyotes you need taken out?
Well, I can get my deputies to go hunting. They could use some practice.
No, our congregations, our attendees. As you know, we have never had too many folk from Big Gulch proper attend our services. This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout. Do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
See it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible taste.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. How are you out there on the other side of this Ethernet cable that I am broadcasting through? Today is not a great day. Anybody who follows me on Facebook knows at 3:10 this morning, my surviving best friend John King passed away in hospice care. He died in his sleep, which is the best way to go. I guess in a lot of ways we're feeling more relief that it's finally over and can now just, hopefully this is the last of the deaths in friends and family for a while. But anyhow, the show must go on, I guess. But he's not, there's no funeral. There's not going to be a funeral. There's not going to be a life memorial bit. He had one brother he was estranged from who has kind of come in and taken over some of the stuff from other friends that were kind of helping deal with all this. They're the sole recipients of his inheritance, and it's just good riddance to them. Anyhow, let's see who's here. I apologize. I don't remember who was in the other stream, but when I created a stream, I think I accidentally clicked create new stream. So I had the one that was up as notified, and then all of a sudden this one went up and they weren't linked. I apologize. So I had to go shut the other one down because this is the one I went live on. Sorry about that. So anyhow, Jerry the Class Caledonian is here. The Class 812. Peter Shaw is here. Jean Ricard, hello. Richard Brown, great to have you here, sir. GWR Buckley, welcome in. John at Mystic Railroad. Tom Couples, great to have you. Tim JD, how wonderful. You got to meet Leslie Gilpin. That had to have been awesome since I have met both of you now. I've met Tim and I've met Leslie. You're both wonderful people. Boxguard Jerry is here. Efo is here. Nice to have you. Carl from Bangor Junction. Nice to have you here. I'm sounding like a broken record. My apologies. New Durham Junction. Welcome in. Welcome in. And let's see. That's most of the names there until I roll my screen up. Kiwi Dave, hello. Hope you're feeling well. Let's see. I think no, there's still got to be a couple of new names I haven't caught up with yet. Digger Evans, yes, Digger, you were one of the people in the other stream. I apologize. I screwed up and hit the wrong button, so instead of hitting start that stream, somehow I managed to click create new broadcast, and they're right next to each other, and I just somehow, I don't know if I had a handshake and just as I went to click, slid it over, whatever, but you all found your way here. Rick is here. Hi, Rick. Joseph Agliato is here. Clive is here. Dino from the Model Railway Shed is here. 156 Andrew is here. My thing just jumped out of control. I think I said hi to Rick. Let me see. Somebody in there I skipped. Ben, Dino. Clive is here. Kieran, J94 is here. Joseph Agliato, hello to all that. Gareth Wade has come in. And Alan from Dragon Junction is here. Thank you. Oh, New Durham, I wish you'd keep your money. I've got my own money when I need stuff, but thank you for that. And again, I think I said Alan. Great here. Alan, I had a locomotive I'm going to show in a minute that I don't know if you would have been keen of, but yeah, it's my friend John passed away this morning, which kind of leaves me standing alone. But you know, we move on. I'm actually My apologies, people, but I am watching the game. It's on the TV behind me. For those who don't know, the United States is playing England in the World Cup. Oh, I really screwed that up now. Come on. There we go. The United States is playing the UK in, or not the UK, England. In the World Cup, and that is going on. It is 0-0. The USA has actually played very well. Maybe England was underestimating us. But let's go straight into what I got. First thing is, this just came in a little bit ago, which is how I started screwing everything up, because I went in to edit and say there will be a mail call. I'd put on the original stream announcement that there might be a mail call, and I went in to change it. There will be a mail call. This is a small one. Most of you know a couple of weeks ago I had the big one. I know, I got taught a long time ago, cut away from me, but sometimes that's just not easy to do. But it's a little box from my Odell Bond Shop Lipa, and I will let you see what's all in here in a minute. Not much. It was just a small order, but something I wanted came in, and I wanted to order it and get it in. But, okay, a couple of weeks ago, I got this, the Noch Advent Calendar. Well, I wanted the Fowler one, so I also got the Fowler one. So that's here. So you get a different little figure or group of figures in each of the 24 days. I'm still trying to decide how to do that, because Richard does, where he does a quick live stream every day during the Christmas season, and I don't want to steal his thunder. The other thing I got, just to make this order worth getting, is some things I had on my wish list as I start to redo the Fowler car system. Is I don't know how well you can see this, but I got some traffic lights that will go at the crosswalks near the train station. I actually need 2 more sets of these, but this is the first set. I need 2 more on this side, and I don't know what I'll have to add elsewhere, but those are the, this is the right style. So I got these. These are Wiesmann, so you know they're good. These were $35 for a pair. Which for what they do, they light up. It has 3 symbols, and it has the little walking man figure, the little cross figure. Yeah, Wales played earlier, and just, yeah. And you're from the UK, can't stand football. I like football, world football, American football. I like all of it. The only sport I don't like is golf. And that's because I caddied for years, and I hate golf. Hey, Mark from Model Railway Fantasia is here. There we go. But anyhow, and then there's one more thing in the package. Sorry about that. I was trying to catch up with chat. I really want to be more diligent about chat. And this was just, actually the calendar is what I wanted. This is just stuff I bought to make the order worthwhile. And I already have these, but this is a double flat bed. And that will go on my freight train, because double flatbed for containers, double container wagon there. So I will put those on. So that's going on. What else? And so let me go to the next view and show you the cameras that are going to, or the locomotives and trains that are running today. Let me go to the 11-lane view. There it is. Okay, so as you all know, I got 2 locomotives, and unfortunately for this camera, they're in the back. I really should have done them on the 1st and 2nd lane or 1st and 3rd lane. I'm just not a freight train guy. And I am running 2 freight trains today, but you can see the two locomotives there, but I kind of showed them off, and I did a video that was posted, I think yesterday morning. it was late Wednesday night, Thursday morning, depending on where you're at. But yeah, I have those 2 new Class 193 locomotives. They are freight trains because I needed, or freight locomotives because I needed some freight locomotives. Since I have all this freight now, and I only have technically 1 freight locomotive, although I have another locomotive that in the part of Germany it runs is both freight and passenger. You found an audiobook that has subtitles. That's too funny. So I'm very thrilled with those. But having said all that, I need to do this. Bear with me. The screen will go blank for a second. I'm here. Don't panic. I forgot to set this up earlier. But Alan, I saw this. I bought those 2 Class 193s, and this week on Monday, my train shop announced they got this new one. It's in stock. They have it right now, and I just want to get the right one here. So that's not the page I want to see, but I have to bring this up, and then I will go to it. And now I got to shrink it to fit the page. This is the problem when I'm editing live. I forgot to set this up, so bear with me, everybody. I know you're not here to hear me babble and you want to see trains. But here are some, these are some of these Class 193s. Like, you can see the one at the top, but here's one that I showed Joyce, because this one had been in stock, but because it was Swiss, and I don't tend to do Swiss trains, but Joyce saw this one and said, "Oh, why didn't you get that one?" And I was like, well, because it's Swiss, and I tend not to do Swiss. But I thought that was that's very sharp. Joyce really liked that one a lot. And then there's the new one. I gotta get to the new one. And Alan, we thought of you, and I really like this one. But Alan, since you're here, you can tell me what you guys think of that livery. Let me come back to OBS so I can see. What do you guys think of this? I thought this was awesome. If this had been out when I bought the other 2, I might have bought this one. But it's got the red dragons. This is a cross continental train. You can see the company list, but yes, Evo, apparently they did. Roko's very good about that, so that's all I can say. I wondered what you guys would think of this. I love that livery, and I gave it to Joyce as a, well, you could always surprise me with. I'm not buying it myself right now because a couple other trains are due to come out in the next couple of weeks, and I don't want to dip into Christmas money when I've already just spent a small fortune on myself with the 2 193s. But damn it, this one came out right after I got those 2 home. This one showed up. Actually, I've had the 2 home for 2 weeks now. It was 2 live streams ago, but I really like that livery. I like the blue and I like the dragons. And as soon as Joyce saw the dragons, she and a couple other people immediately said, like when I showed this image to them, they're like, Alan Wiles, Dragon Junction. But I really like that. So this is this one and that Swiss one were the other 2 that I really, really like. But I've got the 2, and as much as I love this one, I don't know if I'll ever buy this one unless something happens where I just feel crazy. I don't feel the need to have 3 Class 193s, but this is so sharp. I really love that livery. That's so cool. But so that's that. So I just thought I would share that all with you. But like I said, these guys, Roko released like 15 different liveries And I think they're now up to even more. They've got so many Class 193s, it's insane how many variations there are. They've got one for the Slovakia, they've got a Hungarian one, and many multinational ones. Some of the liveries aren't that hot. Other liveries like this one are just really striking and bold. I really like that one. And yeah, they do look a bit like the Class 68s over in the UK now that I'm getting used to what a Class 68 looks like. But this is called the Vectron 193. So yeah, this will have to be, I'm sure this will still be in stock in a month or so after Christmas. And if I decide to be crazy, I can be crazy. All right, so anyhow, let's go. I think that's all the babbling I need to do to start the little mail opening there. I'm excited about that. I'm really thrilled to have this. This is just one more little piece of the puzzle that is making me say it's time to get my butt over there and actually start working on things. I'm just hemming and hawing about, after I've spent all this money, I'm really thinking of doing just a personal design road rather than using the track, but I think the track will be easier in the long run. Sadly, they don't do layaway. My German shop doesn't do layaway. Hey, Chris is here. How are you? So anyhow, let me go back to Nexi Solo. There it is. And I'm here. And then we will bounce over to the 11-lane view. So what is my theme today? Sometimes I have a theme. Darren, how are you, Mr. Faulkner? Nice to have you here. Today, in celebration of the two new locomotives there, those two TX Logistique, the TX Logistic trains here, these two new beauties I have. If you're new to the channel, I just got these a couple of weeks ago, and Joyce took them away from me because she was ordering stuff for Christmas and she wasn't sure she would get the stuff for Christmas. So these were going to be substitute Christmas and birthday present if nothing else was able to come in. But apparently she worked it out because she gave these to me earlier this week and said, here, your Christmas is fine. You can have these now. So she gave them back to me. Yes, I know there are companies that will do custom. I've just never been that. It's just when I see one I like, I get excited, you know. But yeah, these are the two new locos they're running. I am running two freighters. But the theme is these are kind of my fanciest locomotives, the fanciest liveries. So I've got a German class BR 101, class 101 here, which is in the Deutsche Bahn Museum Nuremberg celebration livery. I then have the famous Cottbus class 218. I have the Beethoven back out, the Beethoven Taurus here, and then the two new guys. And that's probably, as far as that are in shape to run right now, my 5 fanciest liveries outside the Railjets. I decided not to put the Railjets out. They would have fit in, but these are all a little better. So let's get the trains started up, and we'll get them going. And you guys can start watching trains, and I will catch up more with the chat and see how everything is going. I really didn't expect a lot of people here today because I figured a lot of people would be watching football one way or the other. My local college team, the University of Toledo, who already clinched their division, lost their 3rd straight game, embarrassingly again, against a very bad team. So that was not fun to see. Hey, you, wrong way, wrong way. But that's my fault. Now, I have a mix match there. I am definitely not running the, whoops. Come on, shaky hands. This is really bad today. My Taurus, I really didn't have a good train to go with the Taurus, so I'm running it with some Alex cars. That is a total non-prototypical, but I am enforcing Rule 1 today, So we're just going to call it there and be happy. So let's go to the 11, let's go to the all view. And now everything's going except for, obviously, okay. Hey, Dwight Curley has come in. How are you? Yes, Leslie is also tall. I think he's about the same height I am. Trying to catch all. Yeah, and they still do, Kiwi Dave. They release a bunch of it. The Class 60 Steel on Steel. Hey, Lee, hello. And the U.S. and England finish 0-0. It was a good game. Good game. Both teams had some chances. But Joyce will be coming down a little later. We both woke up like, we went to bed late. Yesterday, of course, was Thanksgiving in the United States, so we had family over. First time my son has been up in Toledo in a couple of months. We went down a month ago to see him and take some things down to him. But it's the first time he's been back up in Toledo in a while. My grandson Kyan was a little weird about seeing his Uncle AJ. He was not, like, go say hi to Uncle AJ. And he's like, nope, I'm going to go right over to Dad or right over to Grandpa. And I felt bad for my son, because my son is a great uncle, but Kyan doesn't see him very often, if ever. But they came up for Thanksgiving, my son and his fiance. And then, so we had our 3 kids and grandson and my son-in-law and my son's fiance. We had everybody for our Thanksgiving. Dinner was excellent. Joyce makes amazing homemade bread, and the turkey was delicious. Mashed potatoes and gravy were great. Hey, Mason Dixon, how are you? We had a great dinner and at Ceylon, but we were in communication with our friend Deb. Deb is the widow of my friend Dean, but she's also, part of our circle, and she lives up close to John, so and she's a nurse, so she's been basically the one keeping daily vigil at John's bedside. And Joyce and I just woke up and don't know why we woke up. And Joyce said, honey, are you awake? Yeah, I thought I heard my phone ping. And I said, yeah, I thought I heard it too. And Deb texted us and said John had passed away. So, that, John was, it's a male friend thing, but we were all best friends. Joyce, me, Deb, Dean, and John. We were a tight circle of those 5. Which train is going backwards? Oh, that crazy guy. I forgot. Yes, it is going backwards. Sorry about that. My freighter is going backwards. What is going on with it? Well, that is interesting. Oh, that's because I'm controlling the wrong one. Okay, that's what I did wrong. My bad. Duh. I wondered why it wasn't stopping. Come on, you. I was positioning them. Thank you for catching that, EFO. I don't know why I didn't catch it, but I'm babbling. That's one way to put it, Chris. Well, I grew up playing soccer, as we call it in America. I grew up playing soccer, loving it from childhood. My dad considered it a sissy sport. I also played football and baseball. Played a little basketball. So I like American football. I played, as an American, I say soccer. And by the way, soccer is not an American term. The funny thing is, even though the UK, England, and everybody now calls it football over there, you used to call it soccer too. And you brought that word to America, and then you guys went back to calling it football like the rest of the world, and we Americans kept the word soccer. But soccer is actually a UK slang term that comes from the word association. And it was association football or soccer football. And it just went from being soccer football to soccer. And English immigrants at the turn of the 19th century to the 20th century brought that term over to America. We adopted it. And then over there, it went back to being called football, and we kept it as soccer. No, everybody here, Darren, is free to plug and announce your channels. People are hitting milestones right and left or nearing milestones, and I encourage everybody. Hey, Artie. Thanks, Artie. Yeah, I mean, it's melancholy. Joyce and I have kind of shed our tears, and but there's also, it's a relief. This is now over. It was the last of all these people that we have been just in a... it's just been one person to another, and I'm sure lots of people out there are having that, but in our household, from one friend to another friend, close friend, to an extended member of Joyce's family, to Joyce's brother, to my friend John, and it's just, it's been a long spell of friends terminally ill and dying, colleagues at work, and on and on and on. The other one's going backwards. All right, why am I being an idiot? And that is me. That is not my system. I was fixing the wrong one. And holy crap, come on, Anthony. You can see I'm not 100% here today. I set things up late, and I forgot I had readjusted the directions on them to position them for the opening shot. Hey, John Dawson, nice to have you here. You're going out for dinner. Joyce and I are going to go out for dinner after the live stream. Although I have taken over the daily cooking, Joyce still did the Thanksgiving cooking. She and the girls, like my daughter Elizabeth makes an amazing macaroni and cheese. I'm serious, it is high-end quality. She's got her own special recipe that she has perfected over the years. My daughter Elizabeth makes the best homemade macaroni and cheese you could ever have. A mix of cheddar and ricotta and some other cheeses. And it's one of those things, she has two recipes, her basic recipe and her holiday recipe. That's really good. My Joyce makes the best homemade bread in the world. And that's saying something, because I grew up, my mom was a horrible cook, except when it came to baked goods. My mom could bake cakes and bread and pastries. Amazing. My mom had the best, but in my opinion, Joyce surpasses that. The only thing that my mom made great that Joyce doesn't make well is cornbread. And Joyce has only made cornbread about 3 times in the 30, almost 40 years we've been together. Joyce has only made cornbread a couple of times. And, but then my daughter Lynn made the pies, and she's a great, she makes great stuff. She tried her first homemade pumpkin pie crust. She's done various types of crust, but she's never done a full scratch-built crust, and she did. And I thought she pulled it off really well. Yeah, you just had pizza in the hotel room. Where's your macaroni and cheese? Like I told Artie and all the people, I said, hey, you get here, it'll be on the table. We don't have a lot of space, but we would happily squeeze anybody who showed up in. We're like that. You make the best cheese and Vegemite toasted sandwiches. You probably do, because I bet not too many people do. So hopefully now all my trains are running correctly, and you guys will get a chance to see those amazingly beautiful... see, he's getting ready to go up the ramp, so let's start following the one guy around here. He is coming up the ramp, so we'll follow this guy around. Well, this camera's not... this is an old... no, that's a newer Nexigo, but it's a little gray. And he's moving so fast you probably can't see it. But this is the flame one. This is the one more of you like. He's probably going a little too fast. Well, what I'll do is I'll stop him at the DB view. Come on, 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 come on. Oh, just a little bit. All right, I'm going to stupidly try to back him up just a bit here. Oh. Come on, come on. And don't forget to change it back, Anthony. All right, so there you go. That's the new guy. Hey, Mason Dixon, that's good to hear. Hey, Dave Williams, nice to have you. Did I miss anybody else coming in? Hey, and Mark was having pizza at his hotel room with his daughter. I think I caught up with that one. So, we will now let him get back on his merry way. I will try to have him running a little slower. But, hey, when I see freight in Germany, it's often moving at a pretty good clip. Oh, wait, I skipped one. I'd like to replace this camera with a much better quality camera. Yeah, I do occasionally get derailments. Hey, Danny, how are you? Yeah, I do get derailments. I am lucky that I tend to test drive everything before I go live, and that's usually an indication. If I hear something running rough, I'll either change it out or see why it might be doing that. But yeah, I get derailments occasionally on a live feed. If I'm really careful and make sure I put the trains on at the right place, then no, because the Miracle C-Track is very level and straight, and as long as you're not going too fast, the German stuff just, at least on the C-Track, isn't going to derail much. I agree. Let's get Stuart to 1,000. He was at 968 when I watched his video today. So I agree. If you guys don't know Stuart, if anybody can post a link, I mean, technically I can too. I just have to go to 5 different channels here. pages and pull it up. But I'll go there. Where was it? Trains. There he is, Stuart. Copy. Oh wait, it's not going to type if I've got that up. So, Stuart. There we go. So that should have it up. There's Stuart's channel. He's got a brilliant layout, a great set of trains, one of my favorite UK channels. But some people may say, Anthony, you say that about every type too. Yeah, I do. I say that about every channel. Yeah, I've actually lost 5 subs. I got as high as 1398, which was an all-time high on Thanksgiving, and I'm down to 1393. I've been waiting. I had that huge jump up. I gained the biggest jump I ever had, even bigger than the jump Alan gave me last year at Christmas time. The Christmas, and again, thank you for that, Alan, where I jumped well over 120 subs. In a similar time frame, I jumped 150 subs after my negative rant video, which I considered a lot of the new subs I got to be blood money. You know, I didn't like the fact that I got a ton of new subs because I did a negative rant. I'd rather, if people came, it's because they saw something stupid on my channel and thought, hey, that's my kind of stupid, and decided to join in for that reason. That's what I would have hoped, you know. But yeah, but Tim, you recently broke 300. But yeah, and that's why I encourage everybody to advertise here. Now I'm gonna say something, and you guys can argue with me. And this is no, not that. And I'm not trying to be remotely negative or I've been on a few live chats recently where they're making everybody a moderator, you know, where everybody's a moderator now. And Joyce noticed this. We were watching one on the TV in the living room yesterday, Wednesday, because Joyce was off work Wednesday, and we were actually sitting in the living room because yesterday she didn't sit in the living room. On Wednesday, we were in a live stream. I forget whose it was, and it might have been Derail Daryl's and Dave's, that cab, Wednesday cab or whatever. And everybody, they were making everybody mods. And there's a couple of other channels that do that as well. And Joyce said, are they making everybody mods? And I said, yeah. It says, I thought you were the only one that did that. And I said, no, there's some other channels that go it, that are now doing it. But I really think I was the first. How do you know, with 10 million channels on YouTube, 1 billion channels on YouTube, how do you know? But just on the hundreds of live streams I've attended, when I started my live streams, that was the first thing I did 2.5 years ago, almost 2.5 years ago, 2 years, 5 months. That was from day one. I made everybody a moderator. And so I'm wondering, was I the first to do that? Who cares, really? But if I started a trend, you kind of want to think, hey, I started a trend. Because in the end, I don't worry about views. I don't worry about subs. I am not. I do notice the numbers now because, it's easy for me on the YouTube studio page to catch up with comments. And of course, when you go to the page where you would then link the comments, it gives you all your data. You have this many subs. You've had this many views. And I don't care. This is my little madhouse. I'm not here to be big. If I get big, I don't know what I'd do. If I got 10,000 subs or 5,000 subs, I don't know. I mean, if I start getting 300-400 people in a live stream, I think I might stop doing live streams because I couldn't handle it. So, you know, I'm just going back to people's live streams. I've been watching the last 3-4 years, and I just, at the time, I just thought it was silly and funny, and I'm like, I'm making everybody, and I created the I don't think I did it the first stream, but by the third stream, I was calling everybody, new viewers, first-time commenters. I would immediately moderate them and tell them they could do it, and I called it Knights of the Rhomboid Table. And as Joseph will always come in, welcome, fellow Knights of the Rhomboid Table. You know, as opposed to the, you know, Knights of the Square Table has been done by many comedians, and Knights of the Round Table, of course. But again, it's not about whether people copied me or not. That's not what I'm saying. It was just a curiosity because Joyce asked, and I started thinking, was I the first one to do that? Because I remember people telling me I was stupid to do that, and well, I'm stupid to do it, you know. But I did it anyhow because it's. Oh, somebody else got your channel up. Hey, Mark Stanover is here. How are you, sir? Nice to have you here. Another brilliant channel that you should go check out. But everybody here you should go check out. Now, some people here are much bigger than me, so me giving them shout-outs feels a little weird. You know, my little channel giving, like, say, Jim at Hover Motion 7,000 or 9,000 subs, 10,000 subs, whatever he's up to, a shout-out seems a little... Like, I mean, I could see Jim coming back saying, hey, Anthony, thanks for the shout-out. I gained 2 subs this week thanks to you. You know, it's... I have no pretenses. I have a huge ego in many things, but in terms of being a social influencer, no. No ego. In terms of being a model train guy, no. I am an idiot when it comes to model trains. I will occasionally repeat what I have been told by other people. I might say this is what I've learned by personal experience, but my experience is very limited. Hey, Pierre's here! Bonjour, Pierre. And Heath has made an appearance. Hello, Heath. How are you? And that's what it's about. I mean, the people who come and stay, I personally think need support help. But be that as it may, you know, this channel is the most me in many ways because I get to be me. Even when I was on the old Yahoo chats back in the 90s or the old IRC chats and was a sys op and a channel op on IRC and went into many channels and hung out. There's a couple where you could really let your hair hang down, and this one maybe you can't do it as much. I probably do let my hair hang down, hair hang down, and I'm bald. I probably go a little bit raunchier and wilder on Artie's stream that I co-host when I co-host it than I even do on this stream. But part of that's because my kids watch. Eventually my daughter will come in and Lindy will announce, Kyan's watching! And I'll be like, okay, I gotta behave now. But, yeah, it's, Hey, George is here! Yeah, Jean Ricard, I'm one of the most honest and upfront people you ever meet. Anybody who met me in the UK will tell you, yeah, he is the guy you see on his YouTube videos. I am that person. Probably a little less performing because here I'm doing my thing and running my trains and trying to keep 2 hours going and trying to keep up with the chat badly. But, you know, if I'm sitting in a car with Alan Wiles, then I become the student. I become the, yeah, tell me everything you can tell me, Alan. I'm listening and I'm loving it. You know, or when Jim's explaining his layout to me up there, then I'm quieter. You got, yeah, you were telling me that in the emails, George. You got your new Beetle wagons. Those went to Joyce's Christmas shopping list, so I cannot buy them. I've got 4 of them here. Whoop. I let Cayenne play with them right here, and I'm wearing a Beatles t-shirt today. I don't know if Rick from Well Chuffed is in the background or going to come in today, but because I tease him a little bit because he says he likes the Beatles, but he's more of a Stones fan. And I like it if I can banter with somebody about Beatles versus Stones where they don't get upset about it. You know, you have the right to like the Stones and you have the right to have bad taste. You know, I do like the Stones. I don't like most of what the Stones do, but some of their great songs are great songs. I mean, I love, like, my favorite Rolling Stones song is Street Fighting Man. I love that song. And when they used it for V for Vendetta, the closing sequence, it even skyrocketed more. I love that. And they did a video this week, and they were showing that they picked up a Magical Mystery Tour bus. And they got it for a really good price. If I had been there, I would have bought it. I would have snatched it out of their hands and run and bought it, because I tried to buy the Magical Mystery Tour bus, the big corgi one. I forget what scale that is. But they wanted like $80-90 at the Beatles museums in Liverpool and in London. And I was like, no. Or pounds. Did I say euros? Pounds. They wanted 70, 80, 90 pounds for it, depending on which shop I went into. And it was like 39, 40 when it came out. And yes, it is hard to find now, so people are jacking up the prices. You love the Bangles. You're more of a Right Said Fred. Oh, no, I could not get into Right Said Fred. I'm too sexy for my razor. Too sexy for my razor. Yeah, I haven't shaved in a week, and I've decided I'm going to grow my white winter beard. So up there they are. I don't even have to say things 3 times. I just say it once and they're there. I mentioned Derail Daryl show, and boom, Derail Daryl's here. I mentioned Well Chuffed, and Well Chuffed is here. Nice to have Rick and or Pauline. Great to have you here. Andy's here. Hey, Hot Dog Pilot. Great to have you here. Another guy that has become a pillar of my ever-growing empire, my ever-growing palace. These pillars that keep me going. Yeah, I didn't do it last year, but I tend to grow a beard over the winter, and then it comes off when it starts getting itchy, because I have a problem that once the beard gets out so far, it gets itchy. This is the only place where my beard doesn't get itchy. In fact, I posted a video a month and a half ago and I just did it now because my mustache needs a trim. And I noticed I was constantly rubbing my nose, and that's because I get mustache hairs that start to curl upwards, and they tickle the crap out of my nose, and that means it's time for a trim. And I'll just do this because they just start tickling at my nose, and it's either that or, like, my students would see me do that rather than constantly, Mr. Dodge, is something wrong with your nose? And I'm like, no. So I grab scissors and I just start going, hang on, kids. Mr. Dodge has to do a little mustache maintenance. So live on TV, Anthony Dodge runs trains and trims his mustache hair. But those of us of an age, especially those of us that are bald, how cruel is it to us that are bald that we can't get hair to grow here, but the ear hair has no problem sprouting? The nose hair. Joyce will look at me sometimes and go, get the scissors. Why? You've got eyebrow hairs that are out of control. What's up with that? Come on, nature. If you can't grow it here, stop growing it here and up here. That's just not fair. Welcome, Shredder Sweet, or STE. Let's see, what did I miss Mark saying this time? Hello, Barbie, let's go party. And did I just see? Stuart's here. Hi, Stuart. We're trying to get you a shout out and get you up to 1,000 subs. And again, everybody, please list how many subs you have or are looking for, and we'll see what we can do. Again, I'm not a big social influencer. I think I chase people away. If I say go to this channel, people tend to go, look at his channel. I'm not going to go to a channel he recommends. But that's the funny thing. I did post, where instead of my comedy bits, I do occasionally post something serious. I posted my two new locomotives. I thought that would draw some views, and that gets 150 views. I post a negative rant, 6,000 views. I post a positive rant, 700 views. I post a normal model train, look at these cool locomotives, 150. And that, my friends, is why when you sit there and go, the media sucks, the media sucks. It's not the media. The media is capitalism. It goes where the money is. That's why I laugh when people criticize the media and then talk about, the media is capitalism. It goes where the money is. And, but forgetting that, it's us. We have met the enemy and they are us. Anybody know where that quote's from? I'll give you a hint. It was a comic strip a long time ago. We have met the enemy and they are us. Yeah, I've got the ear hair drives me crazy. That's the one I think gets me worse. Because I got no easy way to cut it. I do have the little ear things now. That makes it easier. The little women's dainty special area shavers. They now make men ones for your ears and nose hair. I just go up with a blender. Well, that's cool, Shredder. Yeah. But again, my rant, I got a lot of hate with that rant too. And deserve it. If you're going to put out something negative, you got to expect backlash. Surprise, to the person that rant was about. If you do something negative, you're going to get backlash. If you do something negative, and I don't like to be negative. Life's short and then you die. And I don't like to be negative. I'd rather have a laugh and a smile. And considering my early history in life, where I tried to make my life short, I'd much rather bring a smile to people's face. Oh, you like to pluck it? Yeah, that's. If you need to be awake, plucking nose hair is a great way to wake yourself back up. Like you're at a party that's really boring, and hey, what's the matter? You're sleeping. You're like, hang on a second. Oh yeah, that pain jolt when you pluck a couple of nose hairs. Yeah, that'll wake you right up. That wakes you right up. Yep. Sometimes I would do that with my students. We'd have a lesson that didn't take all class, and we'd just start. Student would say something, we'd just talk about something, and I would always tease my students as they were leaving. I said, and today when you go home and your parents ask, what'd you learn in class today? You're going to say, well, I learned about nose hair plucking in Mr. Dodge's class. And I'll be like, that's the way to go. But, yeah, that was when we had open houses where parents would come in. Like in Germany, they call it Day of Open Doors. We call them open houses. And parents would come in. This was different than parent meetings. But we would have open houses, and I would meet a ton of parents. And the parents that came to see me were always the spirits like, I had to meet you. All my kid does is talk about you and say how much they love your class. What do I think of the Doors? Are you prepared to get very mad? The Doors have some good songs, but overall, I think Jim Morrison and the Doors are one of the most overrated groups in the history of rock and roll. I think 90%, 80% of it, and again, it's a personal taste. It is a personal taste. But I draw a difference. Like, I'm not a fan of Elvis. I'm not a big fan of Elvis. I like a few Elvis songs, but I'm not a fan of Elvis. I don't listen to Elvis. I would never sit down and play an Elvis stream of music, a playlist of Elvis songs. If Elvis comes on the radio, I will look for a different channel usually. I'm not a fan of it. But I respect and appreciate that there would be no Beatles, no Stones, no Pink Floyd if it weren't for Elvis. Now, saying that, there wouldn't have been an Elvis without a Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, and Carl Perkins and those guys who created the music Elvis began to imitate. But, so I don't consider Elvis overrated. I'm not a fan of his music, but I don't consider him overrated at all. He deserves the recognition he gets. He took black rock and roll music and put it to white America, and the rest is history. But I think the Doors are overrated. I know they've influenced a lot of people, and those people would burn me at the stake, but I don't think the Doors were... they had some interesting stuff, some good songs, but overall, I think their legend. I'm the same way as a Pink Floyd fan about Syd Barrett. I think his reputation, because of how he burned out so young, is overblown. I think he was interesting, but I don't think Syd Barrett was that great. Yes, the first Pink Floyd album was all Syd Barrett. The second one was half Syd Barrett. But I still think his legend is bigger than what he truly contributed. But again, without him, there wouldn't have been a Pink Floyd, because all Pink Floyd's greatest stuff is their writing and thinking about Syd Barrett. You like Doors especially. Who was from Berlin, Kreuzberg? Lynn, what do you mean Dad's not alone? Have I listened to Nick Drake? No, I don't think so. I'm very stubborn. Joyce is more up on modern music than I am. Every now and then I'll stumble across a band and I'll announce to Joyce, hey, have you heard this band? She's like, yeah, they've been around for 10 years. I'm very stubborn I'm going to be like my grandfather that would come in and visit us every Saturday. And he was an old man. My grandfather was 73 when I was born, okay? He was 73 when I was born, 85 when he died, so I would have been 12. And he would come in and we'd be watching American Bandstand, and listening to all the big music and that, and he would just come in, sit down, and just look, the crap you kids listen to today. And I'm kind of like that. The pop music and stuff that's out there today, I'm just like, the crap you kids listen to today. Oh, no. Alan, I will happily change direction from music to beauties like Diana Dors or Linda Carter or Lady Diana Riggs, or, yes, we can easily go that way, but Joyce will come downstairs and hit me with a frying pan, maybe. Yes, Diana Dors had a lovely pair of locomotives. Andy. Andy at Hot Dog Pilot, we had a great one. Yes, Diana Dors was in the Adam Ants Prince Charming, and I was a huge Adam Ants fan until the Prince Charming album. The Prince Charming album just got too silly. The Ant Rap song was goofy even then. I couldn't get into Prince Charming. Stand and Deliver was the last big song he did. Now, his first solo album, Friend or Foe, wasn't bad. But Prince Charming had a couple of songs on it. But I was a huge Adam and the Ants fan. The original lineup, the second lineup, and then the big lineup, and then they broke up real fast after the third lineup. Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah, Evo. See, I'm familiar with certain neighborhoods of Berlin and which ones are considered bad, but so many of those neighborhoods have now changed in the last 10, 15 years. Now, I haven't been to Berlin since 2015, so it's been 7 years since I've been in Berlin now. But I've been to Berlin about 15 times. It's just when Joyce and I go to Germany, she doesn't want to go to Berlin. It's like, we've been there too many times. Let's go somewhere else. There's always good music. You know, all people have that genre, that time period where, like, the music from this part of my life was the best music ever. People who grew up with 60s rock and roll, that was the best. People who grew up in 70s, that was the best. The 80s. I love music from all decades, but it's rare that I love a band. I tend to like songs as opposed to bands. There are some bands. I love Pink Floyd, but there's a lot of Pink Floyd stuff that's crap. And I only like Pink Floyd when Roger Waters is in the group. The stuff that they did when Rogers quit, and Rogers is a douche. I don't argue that, but so is David Gilmour. They're equal douches. And as long as they could bury their douche factor and work together, they made some of the greatest rock and roll music ever. But eventually their egos and their attitudes changed. But the crap that they put out as Pink Floyd, that's really just David Gilmour solo albums. With the two surviving other members of Pink Floyd with him on the last two. And then, of course, Richard Wright died. And Roger has done nothing but crap since he left Pink Floyd, although his concerts are awesome. And David Gilmour's done nothing but crap since Roger Waters left Pink Floyd. Now, Hamburg. Now, see, I had a friend, since Evo and Mark, you guys are talking about Hamburg. I had a friend who was military police in Hamburg in the late 70s, early 80s. I got all the great stories. But by the time I got to Hamburg and went to the Reeperbahn, they had cleaned so much of it up. To the point where they're right across the street from some of the most famous things they have. They have a 4-lane roadway now, which used to be a 2-lane roadway, but now it's a big 4-lane off-highway branch. And then across the street is a bunch of family shopping, family centers, family restaurants, and everything. Right across the street from the old red light district of the Pauli district, the St. Pauli district. Up there, the Reeperbahn and that Grosse Freiheitsstraße and all that. No, I'm not pulling punches today, and you can get me back on comment and get me going. All right, you got to go. Take care. Thanks for popping in, Darren. Mason Dixon said now. Take care. Well, the problem is people were asking my opinions about stuff. And again, I won't lie. Like, I loved a lot of the music in the 80s. I was in my 20s in the 80s. There was a lot of great music out of the 80s and a lot of crap. A lot of great Brit pop, a lot of crap Brit pop. One-hit wonders and a lot of bands that became famous, and you scratch your head going, how did they become famous? But so no, I have a bunch of trains that I am being told could be in by the end of the year that are on my pre-order list. The Beatles train, the one that is the UK singles train, that one they're now saying is coming out, and you can pay for it ahead of time, and then they'll email you when they're sending it to you. The boxcars. Oops. Get out. The boxcars like this one, the next set. Because they're going to do all the albums as boxcars. And I'm a Beatle geek. I will buy, if it's Beatles, I'll buy it. I had a great Beatles memorabilia collection. I think I talked about this a long time ago on a live stream. I had a huge Beatles memorabilia, including the famous American Baby Butcher album, the Yesterday and Today album in America. And the funny thing is, most Americans only know the Beatles albums by their American versions. And the American versions are horrible because they're basically chopped up. Like Yesterday and Today is not even a UK, it's an actual Beatles album. It was stuff they took off 3 other albums and singles and patched it together, made an album out of it. But it had a famous cover where the Beatles, just trying to break their mop-top image, did this bit where they got slabs. They're in butcher coats and little blood smears everywhere, and they've got slabs of beef and then baby doll parts, and it was known as the Baby Butcher album. And it was very controversial, of course. But I had a copy of that, but I was away at college, and my parents' home, I slept in a subterranean room, and the sewers, there were massive rainstorms, and the sewers backed up, and so our basement, which is where my bedroom was, flooded, and it took out a large part of my book collection and all my Beatle memorabilia, because nobody thought to go in my room and save my stuff. I was away at school, at university, and nobody thought to go in my room and save my stuff. Hey, the basement's flooding. Maybe we should go into Anthony's room and save his stuff. Nah. You had to have your annual bath before Warley. Yeah. Oh, I did not like the style of music Samantha Fox sang, but boy, was she nice on the eyes. I like Sam Fox a lot, except for her singing. And it's not that she had a bad voice, that wasn't my style of music. I was a rock and roller or a punk rocker. I did do a lot of pop rock. I mean, and I love the German band Kraftwerk, so I have techno pop. I loved Flock of Seagulls. I loved Icicle Works. I loved Adam and the Ants, of course. In fact, I know I've shown this to some of you before, but Joyce and I went and saw Adam Ant back in 2017, so it's been 5 years now. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years. And Joyce and I dressed up for it. I did, it was all homemade, but Joyce and I dressed up for it. I don't know how quick I could find it, but I might try to find a couple of the pictures and embarrass us. That's why Dad's not alone. Thank you for that, daughter. Thank you for that, Lindy. That's cool. Let me see. So I want to go to my page. I'm just looking up real photos. All right, so I gotta come back to OBS here. Prepare to have a chuckle or an embarrassment. These were some pictures. They're not great pictures because we were taking them inside in the dark at concerts and that. But let me see if I could do the Windows view. Let's see if it's here. This should be popping up. There we go. That's Joyce and me at an Adam Ant concert. And I made that coat myself. I made that coat. The striping, the piping, the buttons and everything. I made that myself. And I'm wearing the backstage pass. I bought a backstage pass so that we could meet Adam Ant before the concert. And a certain wife decided, oh, we didn't need to leave too early. And then we got stuck in traffic and we missed meeting Adam Ant. she knows I still bear her a grudge. But let me see if I could, because these are a hodgepodge. Oh, that's me in Germany with a famous violin maker. That's me with Garrett from that's one of the two owners. That's one of the brothers from Miniature Wonderland. My God, was I large back then. And I got larger. That's me, shoulder surgery. Here's Joyce and me again. This is at Adamant. The band was warming up back there pre-concert. That's me with my son, my two daughters, my son-in-law. And we're at the concert the next night in Cleveland. That's Joyce and me. You can see I started with the white stripe. This was the opening band, which has since broken up. But yeah, I made that coat myself. But yeah, that's Joyce and me. That was Joyce and me at the Adamant concerts. We went to two back-to-back nights. We went to Detroit and then to Cleveland. All right, so enough of my own personal embarrassment. I will go back to trains here. We'll do that one. Where are we at on, like, only 23? Wow, that's not many. My popularity is fading off again. So now we got everybody going. Yeah, I like Debbie Harry and Blondie. Again, until she started dipping into other styles of music. Like when she started trying to do rap and stuff like that, I was like, okay, you know. Yeah, because the Foo Fighters were actually a band, and he just joined them and then took over, which led to a couple of guys quitting the Foo Fighters. Too many people watching 23 dots on a green background. No, that. The Ramones. The funny thing is, the Ramones, I love the Ramones, but there was a lot of fakery with the Ramones, too. No, Mark, I can understand having a crush on Toya Wilcox. The sad thing is, because she's married to what? Robert Fripp from King Crimson now. But the funny thing is, when she was a teenager, about the time you would have had a crush on her, she had come out and said she was asexual, that she just had no interest in physical relationships and that. And then apparently she changed her mind, got married, and had a kid. Oh, that's cool, Eagle. But that's the funny thing. Whenever a chat starts talking music, the chat just, it's going to stay music. Obviously, music's a whole thing. Outside of some famous golfers of the 70s and Jamie Farr from MASH, I haven't really met anybody famous. I've tried, but opportunities blocked me. I had a chance to meet the King Juan Carlos of Spain almost 20 years ago, but I couldn't afford the trip. I had been asked to accompany the mayor of Toledo to our sister city of Delmenhorst, since I had already done a couple of German exchange trips, and the mayor was now going to go over and do that. And I spoke German, so I could act as translator for the mayor in some cases, which wasn't needed because they all spoke English. But I went over to Germany with the mayor, and we got to tour the Mercedes-Benz factory there, which normally is off limits to the public. And we got to, this is in Bremen, and we got to tour the Beck's Beer Factory, which was really cool. But we came back, and that was in September, and I had 3 days off of work for that. And then the following spring, the city of Toledo was celebrating its 75th anniversary of sister cities with Toledo, Spain. And I was asked to accompany as part of Sister Cities, because I was one of the big names and faces of Sister Cities in Toledo at the time, because I was doing the exchange program and getting a lot of recognition. So I was invited to go along to Spain, just to be one of the people on the Sister Cities committee, because I had joined Sister Cities doing my exchange program. And I couldn't afford it, because you had to pay your own airfare, and I couldn't afford the airfare. It was like $800, and Joyce and I at the time lived hand to mouth. And this was 2003 or whatever. And there's a big picture in the Blade 2 days after they went, where the entire committee was meeting King Juan Carlos of Spain. Had I gone, I would have met King Juan Carlos and I think Sophie, but I missed out. Well, Mark, I'm so old, I taught that class. All right, well, thank you for stopping in, Rick and Pauline. Appreciate it very much. How's the game? Well, US and England finished 0-0. But we have the big game in the United States is, well, for a big part of the country, is Ohio State, Michigan. No, seriously, the YouTube people I met are now the most famous people I've ever met. Jim at Hover Motion, Alan Wiles, Leslie. Those are the most famous people I've met now. No, we're Ohio State people. Michigan sucks. That was a good one, Clive. You're not my real dad. And Robert, yes, Robert. Can't forget Robert. Oh, you know, and Andrew McDonald. Although Andrew's got to get going. Andrew McDonald at March West needs to get back to showing off his beautiful layout at trains. There was a time where he had 1,000 more subs than me. Now I'm only like 150 behind him. 150, 200 behind him. You follow Michigan college ball. Dude! Figures the UK guy would get it wrong. Michigan is such a... in my household, Michigan was the dirty word. Ohio State, there was only one religion in my house growing up, and that was Ohio State football. Be quiet, Rick, or you can leave too. Hey, anyhow, hello, Rick, and hello, Edward. How are you guys doing? Ohio State should have beat Michigan last year, but they had a flu that wiped out the quarterback, the running back, and the offensive line, and part of the defense, and our defense sucked to begin with, but Michigan was able to push them around. Making a return after a 2-week hiatus, we have Joyce on the camera.
Hi, guys.
Which one puts you more center? That doesn't really seem to affect a darn thing. I don't know why. There we go. Yeah, I'm bringing the mic over.
Okay. I don't need to type.
Yeah, I got a lot of crap here.
It's alright. I really don't need to type.
Well, every now and then you might want
yeah.
to.
So, hi everybody.
Except Michigan fans.
So, hi Sean. Hi Rick. Hi Carl. Hi Model Railway Fantasia. Hi Andy. Thanks. Hi Stuart. Hi White Walls. Hi Alan. Nice. Very
That's
big
exactly
hello.
like what they have.
Hi Eagle Creek. Hi Artie.
No, you don't have to say hi to
Karen.
Eagle Creek. He's a UK guy and still a Michigan fan. You can just skip those Michigan fans.
Alright, we go back over these same people. So hi Tom. Hi Railway Shed. Hi Stanover.
And Stanover is Mark. So
hi,
a lot of Mark.
Boxcar Jerry. Hi Valley 56XX. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, it's, he's been sick. We knew this was coming. It just sort of felt like we could get to see him one more time, but, it is what it is. Hi, Digger. It's better, he's out of his misery, and...
Well, you got the old jacket. How long have you had that? Let's see, 2006?
It's a long time.
2006, yeah.
Winters
You
are-
bought that in 2006, the first trip to
grungy
the
and
Alps.
stuff, but I like it. So thank you, Edward. So the normality. Right, yeah, I've been really having it with my principal, and he really upset me twice last week, to be honest. And I was just so done. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so sorry I wasn't there last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change the subject.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, see, we're all friends because the football game ended up 0-0 between England and
The U.S.
U.S., so we can stay friends. Oh, man.
Oh, we can talk about Samantha Fox. I'm okay with that.
Who's Samantha Fox?
She was a really amazing looking pop singer in the 80s from the UK.
Gotcha. All right.
You didn't want to listen to her sing, but you like watching her
You
dance.
like looking at her. Okay.
Especially dancing.
Oh, Jean, be nice. No room for.
Ha-ha!
be
She
nice.
told you there,
I
Jean
did.
Ricard. See, she's not in her happiest spirits at the
It's
moment, so she's not
not.
going to put up with you messing with
That's
her husband.
right. Let's face it. This is Anthony's show. I just come and visit.
Yeah. Hot Dog Pilot and I were sharing some jokes about a pair of nice locos.
I see. I do see. Married to him for a long time. Yeah, 1.39K.
Yeah.
Just a little push to get.
Well,
the
I've
floor.
dropped. I'm down to $13.93. Nobody loves me anymore. It's only $13.93.
Only 1,300 people like you.
Well, really, it's not even that. It's only about 24 people like me enough to give me a thumbs up. 31 people are in the stream.
Hey, come on, 31 and 24 is not a good ratio. Get at it, Jens. Let's get Anthony up to 30 likes. Yeah, Pamela Anderson. You appreciated her too.
See, I don't know. Pamela always was too plastic for me. You know, she's sexy, hot, but I didn't think she was beautiful.
Linda
I don't know.
was
I guess I
alright.
like, you know, like to me, the most beautiful woman of all time to me,
28's better.
besides Joyce, is Sophia Loren. Sophia Loren is the absolute. If I had to rate all the beautiful women I've ever seen in the world outside of Joyce,
huzzah! Good job, guys. Just a little push. Yeah, Linda Carter.
spelled with a Y, by the way, Lynda.
Was she?
Yep,
I don't think I knew that.
yep, Lynda, Linda.
Ah,
But Sophia Loren is, to me, she was just, I know Gina Lollobrigida and all the others gorgeous too. A couple of the famous 60s Italian actresses whose names I forget right now. Like the one that was in Once Upon a
we
Time
live
in
in
the West.
Ohio, you know.
But Sophia Loren is just, she's the one that was just the absolute stunner, gorgeous, sexy, hot woman. I love Sophia Loren. And I was old enough to remember Raquel Welch and Anne Margaret in their prime. Also gorgeous women.
Hi, Randall.
Hey, Randall, how are you? Hey, Joe Rader. I don't know. There's Elizabeth Hurley had her period where everybody was big into her. I just never. She's pretty. Okay, I'm not saying she's ugly or anything, but I never saw her as really endearingly attractive or, you know. Everybody's got their favorites. Everybody's got what they're into. I mean, first of all, I like brunettes. I can't get into redheads. There's a couple of exceptions, but I can't get into redheads at all. My apologies to all women who are redheads, but it's an Oedipal thing. My mom was a redhead, and I just can't do redheads.
Just can't.
And blondes are fine, but they're a dime a dozen. I just the brunettes of the world. Linda Carter, Sophia Loren, those are my top two. All other women come after. Although Raquel Welch has to go up there.
Randall, the Thanksgiving feast was fantastic, if I don't say so myself.
Already did.
Yep. And, well, yeah, but he just came in. And we had the whole family together, and that's always nice.
Mrs. Howe. So, like, you can figure it out when the old Gilligan's Island bit, are you a Ginger or a Mary Ann? I was a Mary Ann guy.
Oh, I know that, Jean. You know, and overall, he really doesn't care. But, every now and then, like when he gets close to something, he cares a little enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But then he just goes back to
I
it.
usually don't care,
It's
but if I'm at like
whatever.
1498, like I was,
It's like, come
or
on, just
1398,
get
I'm like,
two
hey, I'm
more.
only 2 away from 1400, a new level, you know, achievement unlocked.
Right.
And then I don't really care.
See, yeah, he likes the little trophies when they pop up. But, you know, other than that, he really, he's not,
Yeah, we had some snow on the ground last
Campaigning.
weekend, but today it's in the, 18 Celsius? 17 Celsius? Mid-50s, close to 60.
it's 10 right now. Said it high was 11.
Oh, okay. Was that?
My
Well,
Fit- my
well, now the
Fitbit's on-
temperature's
my
going down.
Fitbit's on the trick.
Jerry Ryan was good looking. Yeah, Jerry Ryan from, other than all the mechanical parts. But then I can't really criticize sexy women with mechanical parts because this woman has mechanical parts.
Oh, just a knee.
She's got a bionic knee.
That doesn't count in the beauty. Unless
Every
you-
time she goes to
unless
run,
you're really into long scars.
she's just
on
like
the knee.
the $6 Million Man from the 70s. Whenever she starts to run, it's in slow motion, and you hear.
5 days to go. That's fantastic, Andy.
Oh, that's right. That's going down.
Yeah, you are almost there.
She was blonde.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're almost summer, Artie. That's kind of crazy.
Nah, never thought Lindsay Wagner was hot. You know, again, good looking, fine.
Fantasia,
but
ooh, she was
the
gorgeous.
$6 million woman.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give you that one, Carl.
Sophia.
Yeah. Vergara.
Vergara, yeah. Oh,
Margaret Hamilton. At least when she wasn't green.
oh, no doubt.
Oh, I've seen plenty.
Yeah, Randall, we have seen
Oh,
a bit of
yeah. The anything in the Japanese art style gets a little. Samantha Egger was not bad. And I do have my exceptions, you know, especially if it's more auburn than red. But Diana Rigg, who was brownish auburn hair. Samantha Egger. What was she did the movie The Kidnapper or something like that? I forget what it was. She got tied up in a bathtub. In a bubble bath. Stupidest thing.
Indeed.
Claudia Cardinale. There you go. That was one of the ones I was trying to think of. Thank you. Thank you, George. Way to come through. What was it? Carolyn Monroe from the 70s. She did a horrific. She was in an Adam and the Ant. She was in the Goody Two Shoes video with Adam Ant because she was dating him at the time. She was in this horrible Star Wars ripoff, late 70s, 1980 movie, sci-fi movie, Star Crash with Marjo Gortner and and Christopher Plummer, who was at a stage in his career where he was drunk or high and would do any movie if you met his pay price, show up and do his lines badly and leave. And he was a great actor. He did a lot of great stuff, but boy, he also chose to do some real crap movies too. But Star Crash, Carolyn Monroe, and she was also in one of the James Bond movies. Kate Beckinsale, yeah, she's the one from the vampire werewolf movies.
Those are the ones. No.
Or wait, no, that wasn't Kate Beckinsale.
Hi, Christopher.
Was Kate Beckinsale the one in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, or is she the one that was in? No, she was the one that was in the crap. I can't think of their names right now. The vampire werewolf war movies.
Jean.
All right, well, good night, Dino. Thanks for popping in. It is late on your side of the Atlantic.
Take care, Karen.
Oh, Jean Ricard. You don't even look at their personality. I saw some of those posts you were putting up on some of the Danish sites where you complained about not being able to stare at a woman's breast in public.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, Kate was Van Helsing, Pearl Harbor, and she did the Vampire War movies, right?
Underworld.
Underworld, thank you. Yep, she did Underworld.
Yeah, they're with you.
Yeah, Keira Knightley did the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. But yeah, Kate Beckinsale, yeah, she did a series of movies where she was in tight leather corsets nonstop. And you got to put that on your resume. What are you good at? Wearing tight leather corsets for extended period of times while filming an action movie. What about Elizabeth Montgomery? Again, pretty enough, not.
You can tell Artie's show's going to be fun.
It depends. Halle Berry. See, that's where I look at personality, and Halle Berry's got she's got a really bad reputation. Hey, Kyle Stevens, how are you? Jacqueline Kennedy, yeah. Nanny McPhee, gorgeous and personality to match. And yeah, and I do that too. I look at the personality. I don't just look at the person, I look at the personality. There's a lot of people, like, there are people that rave over the Kardashians and think the Kardashians are hot, and I just look at them and think garbage. They are so fake. They are such virulently useless people on the planet Earth, and they're famous for no other reason than they're famous. Their dad was a lawyer, and their mom was a fourth-rate actress and crappy model. And they date some famous athletes, and they become famous, and they're plastered all over the damn internet, and they're given TV show after TV show. And I don't get it. I can't find any of them attractive. Julie London wasn't bad. Helena Bonham Carter, a good choice.
UCLA, California in the background up there.
Oh, yeah. No, that was just where the game ended, and I just left it on. I should have turned it off.
Gotcha.
Oh, it does. And of course, you take, you know, the Japanese, the fan art, that manga fan art, anime and manga fan art starts crossing the line into the Japanese cartoon porn industry. And a lot of it just borderlines. And Brigitte Bardot was definitely very beautiful. Lola Brigida. Sorry, Joyce, we're sitting here talking about all these great...
I know, yeah, really out of this conversation.
No, you could be in it, but I just can't talk about it.
What do you mean you can't talk about it?
You'd get upset.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, I've heard all the women...
You know all the
I've
women...
heard this all before.
No, but I'm just talking about keeping you in the conversation. We can't talk about you in black leather corsets here. Our daughter's listening in.
Oh, man. Who do I like?
Wait, did somebody ask you who you like?
Yeah, I mean, who are the... You guys don't want to hear about the male eye candy. This is very imbalanced.
Lance Parrish, the Detroit Tigers catcher of the 80s.
When I was in high school.
She had a big poster of Lance Parrish in her bedroom on the closet door. She loved Lance Parrish.
I had one of Tom Selleck, too.
And Tom Selleck.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting there, but I still going on about.
But I don't know. I don't have a lot of infatuation with too many people. So I started to leave it. That would be nice.
Yeah, see, if Joyce had very definitive taste in men, the only thing Joyce cared about in a man was height.
That is not true.
Well, I mean, outside of personality, we're talking.
I was happy that you were tall because I thought that was cool. But
you liked tall men. Now, I'm the only man you ever dated, so you never dated anybody short. But you always said
Artie doesn't bother me. It doesn't. Wartime fuel points today.
But yeah, Joyce liked height, and she's a girl from the old school. She liked the hairy chest. She liked Tom Selleck's hairy chest and Lance Parrish's hairy chest.
Yeah, of course, back when I was in high school, it was a thing, you know.
Fun size.
Wonder Woman.
But you see, Mark at Stanover, I grew up with a crush. I have an obsession with Wonder Woman.
Artie.
I have an obsession with Wonder Woman. I grew up she was the one female in comic books. You know, on the in the old '60s TV show, I could not stand the Batman TV show in the '60s, but I watched it to see Batgirl. And Wonder Woman was such a horribly bad show. The acting and the plots were so horrible. But I watched it every week to see a three-dimensional Wonder Woman.
He did.
R.D. Joyce wasn't in. I did. I've lost it, but
Yeah,
I was a workout guy. I had. With all the weight I've lost, I haven't replaced it back with the muscles I had when I was younger. But I was very athletic. I was never really buffed. But I'm a broad-shouldered guy. Lee Merriweather's Catwoman was good. She was probably my personal favorite, although Julie Newmar is the more famous and the more beloved one. The one time Lee Merriweather did it was probably my favorite. But the show was so badly acted, and the campiness of it.
It's pretty bad.
Hey, welcome Steve's 00 Gauge. We're a bunch of men watching trains and talking about hot women while I'm sitting next to one. Way to go, dear. Way to sell yourself. Got your jacket over and your t-shirt over and you're trying not to rock. I already showed pictures of you for the Adam Ant concert. Speaking of, well, that was a black leather waist cincher or whatever.
I just pulled one out of my collection. Yeah.
The cheese of it. Yeah, the cheese of it, it was so badly done, I just couldn't. But I watched them. It was just there, it was on, it was something to watch.
Sure have some pretty locos out today.
Well, there's I don't know if you would say half those people there specifically look like the Kardashians, because Kardashian is obviously an Armenian name, but they themselves, there are plenty of beautiful women in any culture and
For sure.
culture, ethnicity. I don't distinguish. I have a personal preference. Dark hair, dark eyes. Skin color never factored in. Dark hair, dark eyes. Brown hair, brown eyes is all I needed.
What was Batgirl's real name? I know you
What was Batgirl's real name? Yvonne Craig.
See, he knew. Do we need new sour cream?
Barbara Gordon. What?
Do we need new sour cream for Sunday?
I don't know. We might. Have to check. Oh, I love those, Randall. I love watching the old, dubbed karate movies. I said, you stand back now, or you shall be beaten. I warn you. No kung fu. I love that stuff.
He does it well.
What's that?
You do it well,
It took years of practice.
I'm sure.
The one thing that I can't do now that I used to do when I was younger was where I could hold my lips still so you didn't see my lips move while I got the English voice out and then went into the bit. I used to be able to do that where I could get a word out. Hey!
You've slipped?
Yeah. Hey! Where are you going? I said, you don't belong here.
Pixie the rabbit doesn't like the Kardashian. Pixie the rabbit has good taste.
Jean Ricard Did you read?
What did he say?
Go back.
Can't stand the
Joyce is in
Kardashians.
every way a beautiful woman. She only has one flaw. That's her choice husband, but that was probably the best choice at the time, Anthony. No, she had other choices. She probably could have done better than me.
Oh, Jean.
But that's the thing. Joyce and I have never dated
Always mean.
other people. Joyce was my first and only date, and I was her first and only date. We have never, ever walked, held hands, or kissed anybody else.
Well,
Well, what? Are you going to suddenly reveal something?
no, I am not.
I thought
I'm
you would
just
be agreeing
saying,
with this,
I
like,
am
yeah.
agreeing. It's just like, when you find your...
Yeah, but there,
When
you had
find your guy,
you had the years
find your
before.
guy.
You had the
That's
years
all
before
there's
me.
to
I
it.
had the years before you. I had crushes on girls, but got nowhere. I mean, I went to an all-boy high school. That made it hard to meet girls at the high points of puberty. Hey, Philip Page, how are you, sir? But yeah,
Philip,
Joyce and I met on a blind date, and it was her first date ever. My first date ever.
he looked cute.
And as far as romantic relationships go, she's the only woman I've ever kissed. I mean, I've got female friends I have kissed, but she's the only woman where we've had a romantic kiss on the lips. You're the only one I've ever held hands with in a romantic way.
Is
And
there a romantic way of holding hands?
want to find out? Well, you know what I mean. We're like I've held hands with colleagues at
Oh,
work.
Be nice. We were babies.
I was 18 and she was 17 on our first date. I was 0 for high school. That's a baseball stat.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Who never lies? But yeah, I never dated anybody but Joyce. I had crushes on other girls, rarely pursued, and the couple of times I even dared try to speak to a girl, I struck out.
He got to try turkey. He did not eat the turkey. He liked the macaroni and cheese and the roll. And I think he ate a little bit of the beans, and that was about it. A little bit of ham, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean it's luck of the draw, but whatever caused the stars to align that day, because neither one of us are in the. We were fated, but sometimes
Well,
it kind of feels that way because
Yeah.
neither
well,
one of us was supposed to be on that date
right,
we went
yeah,
on.
just
and
the way it worked out, it just makes you gotta wonder a little bit. 'Cause, yes, we were both replacements.
Yep, we were both substitutes on that date. It was a blind date. I had agreed to go on the date the date was on a Friday. I'd agreed to go on the date on Monday. Joyce found out Friday morning she was going to be on the date. Because literally they went to school going, "We've got a guy, we bought the tickets, he needs a date." Joyce, you're not going with anybody.
You met him at the party.
All right, Andy, good night. You're going off to Warley. I can't wait to see all the pictures and videos everybody hopefully will post.
luck.
I wish I could be at a Warley or a Getz, but that may have to take many, many years from now.
Yeah.
Hey, Raymond, how are you? Yeah,
Okay.
and see, I don't like chicken, but I love turkey. I do not like chicken. I will eat chicken. I've had to because she loves it. But Joyce
dear.
cooks turkey in a way when we're having Thanksgiving where it is so moist and juicy. She makes awesome turkey. She makes awesome everything at Thanksgiving or holidays. I can't speak for the ham, but because I don't eat ham, but I assume you also do well with that.
Oh, I don't know. All
You're a
do
heck
is-
of a cook.
All you do is warming it up. You were in Wiggum.
I don't know. We had the doors open. Heck, we even had, it was 40-some degrees out. We had doors open because the house was so hot
Yeah.
with everybody in it. You just didn't come. You're trying to make excuses, Artie, but I told Joyce that you might be transporting in and that we need to set another place at the table, and you didn't show up. We waited. We delayed dinner a whole 5 minutes waiting for you.
Vegemite sandwich. Yeah.
I said, do you speak my language? He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Which I always thought was a bit of my sandwich.
Yeah, a bit of my
So
sandwich.
I've learned something.
Now
since
see that,
we've
Rick?
been
You
here.
root for Michigan. You don't like turkey. There's just no hope for some some people.
Oh.
The orange
It's just
buildings
as
are
easy to make
3D
real
printed
mashed
buildings that
potatoes.
need painted.
Right.
Actually, they need thrown in the garbage, but I held on to them. They didn't quite print out right, but just to fill space on my table, I threw them there.
They weren't quite bad enough either.
They weren't quite bad enough to throw away, but they're 3D printed. I do have a 3D printer, which hasn't been used in a year.
Flat rate.
What's that?
Already shipped himself flat rate. He'll be here for Christmas, maybe.
Oh, that Australian shipping, you never know. I am running 2 freight trains in honor of the 2 new freight
We
locomotives I
always
bought.
have a lot of food. And really, if any of you show up, we'll just put a place for you.
Our doors are open. Anybody shows up and you want fed, we'll take care of you.
Yep.
No, see, there's the wrong address again, Artie.
Farside Road in Toledo.
But, yeah, I rarely run freight, although I've been running more freight than usual. But yes, I'm running freight because I got those 2 new freight locomotives that I put in a video that came out Wednesday night.
Yeah, see, you have 2 freights going. You got some pretty locos on your
Yeah, well, that was the theme today.
I know.
Good eyes, good eyes. Do we do meat pies? We had them in the UK. We haven't done them here. The only official UK meal she makes is, well, actually now I make it, is Yorkshire pudding and meat gravy.
Yeah.
But we haven't done a meat pie.
It's fried, not baked.
Kyle, the new locos are running very nice right now. I've got them at probably faster than they should be, but they're at a very stable, lower speed than I would normally run locos. Yeah, one's going up the incline right now, and the other one's doing the short loop here.
Yeah,
and
so
they're
I think
running
you only
just
had one.
fine.
Yep.
They're gorgeous. They're running fine, but there is that third one that I really now like
C-Gleis.
too. Hey, how you doing, Roger? Glad to have you here.
Well, Edward, I would think it is a meat pie.
Pizza's a bit of a no, it's not a meat pie.
No?
Even though we call it a pizza pie, a Chicago deep dish is a meat pie
All right.
because a pie has to have a top on it. Otherwise,
Okay,
it's a
Blazy.
cake.
Yeah, all right. Nice you came in.
Yeah,
Leave a
just
like-
glad to see you.
Leave a like behind, you know? Oh, no kidding.
Well, they sorted the first one out, but the poor UK.
Oh, did they sort one out? I thought they...
No, in the U.S. one they were going to have it straight.
US got... Oh,
But in the
is
UK,
that sorted?
I joked about hopefully they'll have it solved.
Wow. That would be different.
No, I don't.
wouldn't
In
it?
some ways I wish I did, but then again, in other ways I wouldn't want to live at 1600 Pennsylvania
You don't
Avenue.
wanna deal
Way too many skeletons in the closet to
Right.
be president of the United States. That's why I've never run for any political office, because there's just stuff that doesn't need to be out in the public air. Family stuff and
Yeah. Oh. Oh, that's nice.
that's a good point, because pumpkin pie is a pie. But really, pie, this gets in the whole hot dog what's the debate?
It's
Sandwich?
a taco, a hot dog.
No, it's sandwich versus taco or something like that. I
Yeah.
forget what.
Oh, there's a whole.
So I don't know. I mean, cream pie. What makes a pie versus a cake a cake? So yeah, I mean, so I guess pizza is a meat pie, but I always think of a pie as being encased. You know, you've got the crust on top and the bottom. But you're right. You know,
Yeah.
chocolate cream pie, banana cream pie,
It's an open
meringue.
pie, yeah.
You know, what makes a pie a pie? Why isn't cheesecake a pie? Why is it a cake? It has a crust like pie does, but we call it cheesecake. Supertramp the Taco Bell. Because see, German doesn't even officially have a name for pie. You have two types of cake, but pie is just either Kuchen
Torta.
torta.
Yeah.
Real pie should see. There we go. Real pie should have, but
Like a lot of
yeah,
pies
and that's
that
like
don't.
a meat pie. We had meat pies. I like the steak pies. I had the steak and ale pies. I had it 3 times at
Yes, you
different
did.
places,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because I like bready, I like bread, and I like meat with gravy. So yeah, the UK meat pies. Yeah, well, Kyle, you just mentioned it, and it's sounding good to me too. A good chocolate cream pie, the old banquet chocolate cream pies that they don't make anymore. I really miss that.
Yeah, well, Edwards pies are awfully good.
The Edwards pies are good, but it's not the same. The
Huh.
same ones you used to get at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. All right, Digger is taking off. Thanks for stopping in, Digger. Man, I hope you start feeling real better and that your week it goes a lot better than the last couple have been.
I should have a lid. Some of you are taking a stand.
Well, I think everybody in the world loves pie,
What are
regardless of what pie you're talking about.
I don't know. I'm sure I could find recipes and make steak and ale pies.
Yeah, but it would kind of be me making it now, wouldn't it? Or you would do it one night.
Oh, well, we could look it up ourselves. I mean,
Because that was weird. I really felt like, shouldn't I be cooking yesterday? I've never cooked a turkey in my life.
and you don't have to cook every meal.
Because, I mean, I really lived up to that promise.
I absolutely appreciate coming home and not having to start dinner right away.
That was the promise. I told her when I retired I'd take over cooking.
Yeah, but you don't have to take over everything.
Hey, Nancy, how are you?
Just work days. I think so, John. I think a calzone could be a pie.
I definitely would call it that.
Hi, Nancy.
Or it's a pizza sandwich.
Just last week, isn't it that long?
All right, Alan, thank you for stopping in. Really appreciate it, man. Always so pleased to see you, whether in your videos
Yeah.
or on somebody's chat or my
See ya,
chat especially.
Alan.
Be aware of fake pies. It's a communist plot, those fake pies. Flood the world with fake pies. Ah, you have communist pie now.
Good. Isn't all pizza takeaway?
We have fun. We go to party. Communist party. Ha ha ha. Well, you know what our favorite game is at communist party? Spin the bottle. You know why? Because at a communist party, when you spin the bottle, you get lots of communist revolutions.
Oh.
Lots of communist revolutions. That's why Joseph Stalin was so bad when turned out so bad. When we all first started the Communist Party, he said he wanted to join a Communist Party and he wanted to have a communist revolution, so we spun him around and around. That's when the purges began.
Oh, yeah.
But at least he wasn't hit by a tank.
I saw that coming. I just saw that in your eyes. You were switching it off.
I haven't done a Russian accent in so long. I have to really work on it.
Oh, that's nice, Rick.
I haven't done a... Marty. Death of Stalin is a great movie. Not necessarily historically accurate, but a great movie nevertheless. Now see, there's Cheese and Onion again. Philip, whose page was it? Somebody did that.
Cheese and onion.
Yeah. Philip, was it on Facebook you did that? You posted something about Cheese and Onion and I posted a link? Yeah, Russian OP needs to be played at 7 to 8 RPM. You need more communist revolutions. Members of the party. Workers of the world unite. You just gotta be careful when doing a Russian accent. You don't turn into Dracula. Carl, ever eaten half a horse and realized you weren't that hungry? No.
No.
That's probably a line from a movie I'm missing,
I'm sure,
forgetting.
yeah.
More fake pies. No, see, there was this Eric Idle and Neil Innes from Monty Python. Neil Innes was always the unofficial 7th member of Monty Python. But Neil Innes, the Bonzo Doodah Dog Band, and you know, what was it, Urban Cowboy, Space Cowboy, whatever his song was from the 60s. But Neil Innes and Eric Idle did the Ruddles, a parody of the Beatles. And they did a song called Cheese and Onions. And one of my UK friends, somebody in this chat room on Facebook, I think it was, posted something about a cheese and onion sandwich. And every time Joyce and I hear cheese and onions, we immediately go to the Ruddle songs.
Cheese and
I
onions.
had always thought in the back of my mind, cheese and onions.
Yeah.
I have always thought that the world was unkind, cheese and onions. Do I have to spell it out? CHEESEANDONIONS. Now, man and machine. Keep yourself clean.
Keep yourself clean, yeah.
Or be a has-been, like the dinosaur. Man and device. You better think twice. Oh, I love that. In America, it was called All You Need Is Cash, the first one, and then they took all the outtakes from the first one and added a couple of bits more and did a second one. But in America, it was called All You Need Is Cash. But it started as a parody on a little show Eric Idle was doing called Rutland Tonight. It started as a radio bit on BBC or somebody's radio, and then moved to a TV slot in the mid-70s, Rutland Television Tonight, and they did one little parody of the Beatles, and then did the whole thing. Yeah, it does sound like an incomplete sandwich. Now, I don't like onions, so I'm going to have that, but... And I'll eat a cheese sandwich, well, Alan's gone, just ask his wife Babs. I felt so bad, but they had ham, and I don't like ham. And I just said, well, do you have cheese and butter? And she said, yeah. And I
She
said,
had
cheese and
no-
butter?
She had no problem making you a cheese and
Cheese and butter buddy, and
Sandwich.
man, that
Yeah.
was great. I don't know what cheese she had, but that was some good cheese. And I'm a cheese connoisseur.
I think it was
I love my cheese.
English cheddar.
I haven't crapped since 1987, but I do love my cheese. Sorry. When it's called a flan, there you go. We've already got you started now, Roger. We're just
Well,
redirecting you.
Clearly.
You lost your mojo. Crikey, you lost your mojo. Do we have to
Wow.
develop a time machine and send you back to the 60s to find it?
That was a plot.
That was a plot, yeah.
Wasn't a good plot, but it was a plot.
Oh, geez. We've got him wound up. Roger's staying here a while now. He's going to get this sorted.
Oh, geez.
Pies of the world, stand up and defend yourself against fake pies. That was the old commercial in the United States that somebody finally realized you couldn't be doing. Mrs. Meyer's pies, finger licking good.
That was always Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, Kentucky Fried Chicken was finger licking good. They took it, but it started with Mrs. Meyer's pies in the
Gotcha.
50s or 60s. Mrs. Meyer's pies.
Somebody
finger licking
decided
good.
that wasn't nice.
And somebody just said, you know, and I'm sure the guy who wrote that ad goes, I bet these old farts never get this.
Right, yeah.
But that's the line in Penny Lane. Full of fish and finger pie is a very obscene line. And BBC Radio had no problem, but they banned Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Right.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Lucy, Sky, Diamonds, LSD, and John Lennon's like, what about the W? With diamonds. Apparently we skip the verbs, the articles, and the prepositions. If you take just the nouns, it's LSD. And so the BBC banned it, even though John Lennon said it's not an LSD song. And then Dr. Robert never got banned, and that was an LSD song. And then I forget the 70s band Lakeshore Drive. That is an LSD song, and it's specifically Lakeshore Drive LSD. But, well, that's a road in Chicago. Yeah, but it's an LSD song.
Right.
It's about the... Mrs. Max Cream Pies.
Pickish? Oh, yeah. There's plenty of things I don't like. Well, like some cheeses I don't like.
She doesn't like...
I don't like feta. I don't like.
but is
The
there...
other one I don't
Oh,
like.
you don't like lamb. Let's put it that way. You don't like
Yeah,
lamb.
I like lamb.
I don't like lamb chops, but I like lamb when it's in...
Somebody mentioned donor
sliced lamb or-
kebabs. We went to a donor shop when we landed last time we were in Germany, and I asked for a kebab with no meat. It was basically
they're
a salad on a roll, and it was really good.
Cayenne, Opa loves you! Hi, Cayenne, hi, Lindy!
Super. Hi, Kyan.
That one would have been interesting too, Efo.
Love you, pumpkin pie.
But you don't like lamb.
No.
You're not... I'm trying to think of foods... I mean, there's all kinds of vegetables and like mushrooms and things like that you don't like. You're not really big on pickles.
No. I mean, I don't hate pickles, but I'm very particular with them.
Right.
Cough the hell up without milk.
And you're not really big into spicy foods.
Well,
You don't... I mean, you've eat... Well, I mean, how are you with Chinese food?
I like fried rice.
That's...
So
yeah.
chicken fried rice or shrimp fried rice is good.
But the heavy vegetable stuff, you're not... That's not one of your big
most
things.
well Chinese I can eat all the vegetables they do.
I once asked for a cafe au latte without milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Heinz better look after my new trains, Opa. Fish. It's got a hit and miss.
Oh, there's all kinds. Yeah, there's a lot of songs that went under the radar, were very popular, and clearly had very definitive hidden meanings that the people did. But then when the song got a reputation, even Pink Floyd's Arnold Layne didn't get banned originally from the BBC.
Right.
And that's a song about a cross-dresser.
It's a cool song.
Don't worry about it, Roger. We appreciate it. Don't worry about it. Anyhow, take care and get yourself going. What about fish? Joyce likes fish more than me. I really am not a fan of fish, but Joyce doesn't mind fish.
Yeah, but I can't say all fish.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I mean, I remember, again, a German experience where this lady was trying to talk me into taking the fish as it was, all the bones and the head and stuff. And I said, no, I want it without the bones. But you get more fish that way. I don't care. I want it without the bones. But it's cheaper. I don't care. I want it without
That was an
the
expensive
bones.
restaurant in
It was
Hamburg, too.
Very expensive.
Friends took us there.
I do not
They were
want,
paying.
I do not like my food looking at me. Just saying.
But yeah, neither one of us like super spicy foods. A lot of Asian cuisine would be right out the window because of the heavy spices. Yeah, no, yeah. Louis is like, we don't know what they're saying. It must be bad.
You're right.
Me gotta go. It was me gotta go.
You gotta go.
But no, he sounds stoned and he's saying something we don't understand. Ban it.
Well, Randall, I had a curry ketchup. Well, no, it was a curry verst.
Currywurst.
So curry sausage in basically tomato curry. And, it didn't taste that bad, but it was not good on the other way.
And that's European curry,
It's
which is
like,
nowhere near true
no,
Indian
no, it's
curry.
not real curry indeed. And, no, that was quite unpleasant coming out. Oh, back out,
Yeah. But I am a very boring eater. I would drive people crazy. I don't like heavily spiced foods. My biggest spice is pepper.
Yeah,
That's all when I make
I know.
when I make burgers,
Oh.
all I add is pepper.
Yeah, although your spaghetti sauce is a lot spicier than mine.
That's true. When I
Quite
make
a bit.
Italian
I
food,
make it very, very
I load
mild.
it up with spices.
Yep.
Now I make a now Artie, this might bring, but again, everybody has slightly different ways of saying it. But it's a southeastern European, a Slavic thing. It's called sabapchichi or sabap, and it's pronounced differently depending on Turkish, Serbian, Croatian. Everybody's got a version. Bosnians call it a sabapchichi.
See, go Creek.
All right, take care, Ben. Thanks for popping in. But I spice that up. Paprika and
I've
cumin.
never tried lobster.
Red pepper,
Artie, you could be
paprika,
my
and
first
cumin.
opportunity. Yeah.
Now you like tuna a lot,
Uh,
although
I
you don't
wouldn't
eat it as
say
much.
I like it a lot.
You would eat it a lot.
I'll eat it for lunch.
But what about all other like? Because we just don't do seafood like shrimp and crab
I like
and
shrimp.
and lobster.
Yeah, I've never had lobster. I've never had lobster. I've never had crab meat.
Oh man.
But whitefish is good.
Yeah, Joyce has never had crabs, and I can attest to that.
Salmon's good. Tuna's good.
I've never had crab either.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Would you try it? Too much
If
cumin.
it doesn't give you a colonic.
Right.
Nobody says, what? Too much cumin? No such thing. No. I go along with that. I don't mind cumin at all.
I don't
Cumin.
need
Joyce
my
doesn't like it.
my dinner swimming. It's past its swimming time. I don't care. I don't want it with the bones.
Yeah, exactly.
That's way too much work.
Crab is lush. It's depending on where you go. It's relatively inexpensive here. Lobster
Lobsters are
too,
sweet.
but I'm a steak person. I like cow. I am a preternatural.
Power song. Oh, I can't say.
I'm a preternatural reformed Hindu. I worship the cow, but I eat it.
Yeah, by eating it.
Everything from the cow is great. I love the cow. And then when it's dead,
You don't know what biryani
can make leather
is.
clothes,
Kurdish
leather
style
jackets.
dolma. Gotcha.
nice leather skirts. And
Gotcha. My sister-in-law would eat with you.
Well, that was the thing that blew us away. Like one of the first times we were in Germany, and we'd go to one of the fish sandwich places because somebody wanted to get a fish sandwich or whatever. And like
Right.
there's this chain in Germany called Nordsee, and you walk in there, and they have a fish with its head and its eyes and its gill still there on a bun. It's like, don't you prepare that? No, that is prepared. I ain't eating that.
Yeah, just really, it isn't right. Let's clean it, descale it, debone it. Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
yes, Philip, I did.
Saffron. Okay. Now, my sister-in-law absolutely loves non-American food. She likes it very spicy and
I'll never understand. You look here, everything's level, but what happened is this was 3-ply and this was 5-ply, but they were both listed as 1/4 inch.
right.
But this is clearly higher here.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what created the bump. I had them level, but when we moved the table the one time,
Yeah, we moved
they
it.
shifted.
Yeah. Oh,
And
you
now the
can
whole
have
thing's bumped
bone
up.
in a steak. That's easy to cut
Trust me, there's a
around.
part of me that wants to rip
Just
that all
it's
down
all
and
over
redo
the
it.
fish.
Nothing like a bone and ribeye steak. Beef tongue, no, I refuse to taste anything that might be tasting me back. You grab a beef tongue sandwich, you take a bite, and you go, that tasted good. And the tongue goes, that tasted good. Whoa! What?
I don't think you needed to explain that.
Shut up. Just stop.
Fine.
Oh, there we go, Artie. Our fish here in Australia is much nicer than anywhere else.
Well, you
Oh,
are
for
on
goodness
an
sakes,
island.
You down under people.
I'm with you, Randall. That's pork. I can eat pork. Anthony can't.
I call it Worcestershire or Worcestershire. Just depends on the mood I'm in. It's Worcestershire, Worcestershire.
Nope.
But then again, you live in a country where it's Leicester and it's Leicester. We'll just skip. That's the French influence. Because the French, Bordeaux. You need 5 letters for that. Bordeaux. B-O-R-D-O. Bordeaux. No. B-O-R-D-E-A-U-X. Marseille. Marseille. You need 5 letters, maybe 6. M-A-R-S-A or A-Y. Marseille. No. M-A-R-S-E-I-L-L-E. Marseille. Bovie. You need 5 letters. Bovie. B-O-V-E-E. Bovie. No, in French. B-E-A-U-X-V-I-L-L-E. Those crazy French, I tell you. Yeah, see, Evo here in the United States, or I'm sorry, not in the United States, here in Toledo, Lebanese food is very popular because Toledo had, the second largest Lebanese population in the United States at one time?
One time. yeah.
Toledo still has one of the largest Lebanese communities
No.
in the United States. We have our two most famous actors from Toledo, Danny Thomas and Jamie Farr, Corporal Klinger and MASH, are both Lebanese.
Right.
Yeah, so Toledo has a very strong. There's still a couple. There's not as many Lebanese restaurants as there used to be, but there's still a couple.
Probably more here than in most places. No, I would not take
No,
you up
Jean
on that,
Ricard.
Jean.
No. Yes, Philip. I almost.
Can you read that,
it.
Lenny?
Yeah, my daughter Lynn is studying. Is it Welsh Celtic? Yeah,
Welsh.
she's studying Welsh. Oh, you got more of your fences in.
Buckley.
Nice. We are doing okay. I mean, to be honest, we're in much better spirits than maybe we thought we'd be today when we got the news early this morning. But we woke up, we were both awake, and Joyce was like, "Are you awake?" Yes. Yeah, I'm awake. And she says, "Yeah, me too." And ping, we got notified our friend John had died. But to be honest, the tears were earlier, but we now it's almost gone into a sense of relief. It's over. We're done. This was the last. I mean, it sounds horrible in two-dimensional speech.
Holy moly.
Yeah, knock on wood. But this was the last one we knew was coming.
Of our
And
friends and family.
it's horrible to lose my friend, but I lost my friend a while ago. It was just this. We shed the tears for that when it was announced terminal, and then he went into hospice care, and then he went into end-stage care. It just, when we saw him a couple of weeks ago, we said goodbye. I said goodbye the first time because I didn't know if I'd see him 2 weeks later. So, even said my goodbye. So with him passing in his sleep overnight, it's actually a relief. And people who've been through it understand.
Misery. Yeah, he's out of his misery. So French have a female table. Germans have a male, don't they? It's der Tisch.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then a blackboard is actually the German word table is Tafel, which is where the English word is. Because in English we have table, which is that or what have you, like your periodic table.
Gotcha.
Or,
Yep.
But in German, die Tafel and der Tisch.
No, I wouldn't say things aren't raw, but we're functioning all right.
Yeah, that's where we're at, Artie. And on the bright side, I mean, yeah, he was in some pain. I mean, the cancer started, prostate cancer, and just exploded everywhere. It was...
He was okay, and then he wasn't.
And then he went into remission, it was gone, and then it came back, and then it came back, and within 3 weeks of it coming back, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicholas, how are you? Did you make it to Warley? Because today was one of the big train actions.
Okay. Right.
So, now we're moving on. And it's sad. It's sad. I mean, it's been hard because this was a tight group of friends for 30 years. And it's, the three main men, I'm the last one standing.
Yeah, that's cool. He's in his Airbnb waiting for tomorrow. A while. It's getting cold down here.
To make how French and German tables meet to make nightstands. But then, like the apple is French and Spanish is feminine, or no. In Spanish it's male, in French it's female, and in German it's male. Der Apfel.
Right.
In French, le pomme. And I forget if it's male or female in Spanish now. I forget the Spanish word for apple.
Wow.
Now, funny thing is, because I actually do this as a lesson to my students when I try to teach them that many languages have gender terms, that nouns are divided into gender. And we joke about that. But funnily enough, a banana is male in every language. A pencil is male in every language. So my students love to. So I always tease with my students. Gee, do you ever wonder why a banana or a pen is male in every language? Yeah, certain things that are phallic shaped are male in every language.
High schoolers eat
It looks
that
like a
up.
penis. It must be male.
They're all hormones.
But what gets me as somebody who's got a degree in linguistics and has spent years teaching language is how they decided, like a table in German, a chair is male, a table is male, the door is female, a clock is female. The word for river is male. I mean, I always see this with my students when they look under a table's male. I mean, what they do, they look under and go, "Yep, this is a boy." What makes a door female?
You got a Nubian.
We got a newbie. Forever DC 302. Welcome in. We've got a night chew.
Wow.
Zoom. Nope, it's still going, kids. Holy crap, that may take a year or two before it gets on point.
Yeah. Been a while since you had this.
What the heck?
You've been very chatty. I saw fish, so it can't be too far. Unless you've been thinking
it's
about.
6 o'clock. We got to get going.
Unless you've been talking about fish all day.
It's 6 o'clock. You just came in.
Yeah.
Now, did you want to go out, or were we going to order in? I mean, closer. There it is. Okay. Finally, I could do this. If it'll stop moving.
He's got to hold still. Order in.
We're ordering in,
I
or
don't know.
somebody
I think I
suggested
got a way to get.
I'm now declare you a knight of the round boy table. There, now, Forever DC
I have a
302,
way
you
to
can
set
advertise
those
your
up.
channel. Post a link to your channel. We're going to be shutting down the stream. I'm sorry you're coming in late. We're just getting ready to go. Order in. It's crazy out there. Yeah.
It's Black Friday.
But we don't go out like we used
Hot
to.
chips and mushy peas. We've been over those mushy peas already.
Mushy peas. Ugh.
Yeah.
More for birdies than Anthony. Hey, Flymo just came. All these people coming in. Andrew just came in. How are you? But we're just getting ready. We've been running the new trains.
We know what mushy peas are now. We've had that experience.
We know what mushy peas
We
are.
decided scones or scones, however you said them, look pretty good.
Oh, I accidentally bumped his lights off. I didn't know that. But Taurus has been around all this time without his lights on. Beethoven.
What the heck? At least it's daytime, so it wasn't nearly as bad.
Oh yeah, we've had this conversation before. Some of
Yes,
you
we
like the mushy
have.
peas. I don't like peas to begin with. So mushy peas is just.
Mushy peas.
I raised 3 children, Nick. I've changed diapers that look like they had mushy peas in them. That's what mushy peas look like to me.
We don't do Chick-fil-A ever.
Yeah, we don't eat
Let
Chick-fil-A.
alone tonight. That is a conscientious.
Conscientious. You added like 2 extra
I
N's in
did.
there.
Well, you don't know.
Conscientious.
Yeah, conscientious.
That is a personal choice.
choice.
Conscientious.
Conscientious.
You've had a long week, my dear.
I have.
Hang on.
Yeah, you can do that. There you do, Forever DC.
You know, you stop that Beethoven locomotive and he's just staring at you.
He
Stop.
does just look at you.
He's just,
He
Beethoven
is
is just
kind of
staring
a.
at you.
He is kind of a creepy. He is a
I
bit
want
of
to get
a.
I stopped. Come on, back. Come on, Beethoven, back.
Do you have a preference where they land?
Well, Beethoven I do, because I got to do something with Beethoven.
sings.
Yep, my Beethoven locomotive sings. In case you hadn't seen that before, Beethoven plays music.
Okay. Those two are.
What? Again?
You ruined tongue sandwiches for Carl.
I ruined what?
Tongue sandwiches for
Forever.
So Edward told you gotta listen to the intro on Forever DC.
Yeah, I'll have to go
so
to
we
it.
we
Yeah.
shall do that.
Yeah. See, I couldn't get that to work for the longest time because the instruction book didn't tell you. And then one day I had the running sounds on and I hit it. It only works while it's parked.
Right.
It only works while it's parked, but you have to have the
Otherwise,
engine
it doesn't
sound on.
sound very good.
So it doesn't work on its own. You have to turn on the engine sound and then the music will play, and it has to be at 0 per hour. Okay, everybody, I'm sorry for those of you who just came in, but it is that, not just a copyright claim at most. Everybody worries about copyright strikes, but no, you don't get copyrights. Copyright strikes are, you get copyright claims is all. Anyhow, to those of you who just came in, sorry about this, but it is 6 o'clock, which is Joyce gets hangry and she turns into the She-Hulk. And as beautiful as Joyce is, when she's green, it's never pleasant. Whether it's green because she's going to get sick or green because she's hangry. So anyhow, on that note, thank you for all once again coming in and spending a part of your Fridays with us when you could have done so many more things that were much more fun to do. But we're going to try this one more time and see if somebody remembers her lines properly. We're going to say Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.